Standardized testing has been part of the American education system for years. Standardized testing at heart is the unit of measuring a student's performance and knowledge in a predetermined area of study, and is being used in many schools today. I can relate to this because I've had to take standardized tests all throughout my schooling. Tests such as the FCAT and SATs have always been hard on me. In fact, according to my online survey, 90% of the class has had to take a standardized test sometime in their life. Today, I'll be addressing the problems with standardized testing and why this issue has to be addressed, as well as simple solutions to this problem. One problem is that students are currently only being educated on subjects that will be on the test. Subjects such as art and science are being left out because they're not being tested. According to Jasmine Evans, problems with standardized testing, focusing on subjects such as art, music, and physical science are not being tested. Therefore, administrators are removing them from their schools. To me, it feels that students are being robbed from a full education. They're not going on field trips. They're not enjoying different subjects. They're just being taught what is going to be on the test. The main problem is that students can have the best grades in the class, but if they don't pass the standardized tests, then they don't pass the class, making this unreliable and unfair for students. Many factors can go into why a student doesn't pass a test, such as not eating breakfast, or not sleeping well that night, or problems at home, making this unreliable and unfair. In a 2013 speech to the American Education Association, Secretary of Education Irene Dukan said that state assessments fail to capture the full spectrum of what students know and can do. In a 2001 study by the Brooklyn Institute, 50 to 80% of year-over-year scores were brief and had nothing to do with long-term changes in learning. Although students can have a lot of stress due to standardized testing, teachers have to have a lot of stress because of it as well. Teachers every day have to deal with the thought of losing their jobs over this. A standardized test should not determine whether a teacher has a better pay than the other or being fired from this. It's completely unfair for teachers. In his online article, John Kenrick, Teaching Teachers, teachers can in some cases lose their jobs over this. I see this as unfair for teachers because they work very hard on their career, and just because their class doesn't perform well on their standardized tests, it doesn't mean they should be affected from it. I have come up with simple solutions to this problem. One solution is making the tests less frequent. Having the same tests, but fewer of them, is a simple solution to the problem. I don't think the tests should be removed because they are a great way for students to learn and improve from, and tests will follow them throughout their life, so they shouldn't be completely removed from schools, but having fewer of them so students can learn different subjects, such as art, and going on field trips, and learning science, and doing different things. Incorporating more and different data into students' progress is another simple solution to the problem. Using report card grades and their overall school performance, all this should be based on whether a student passes or fails a class, not one test. It's unfair. Instead of affecting teachers in a negative way, standardized tests should be used to affect teachers in a more positive way. teachers with students with high test scores should be rewarded for this. And teachers with students with low test scores can use this as a way to learn and change their teaching ways, but they should not be affected from this. By now, the points I have addressed should convince you that standardized testing is a problem and it has to be changed. I have described the problem, the causes, and finally, solutions to this problem. I will end here with a quote that has inspired me by Albert Einstein. He says that everybody is a genius, but if you would judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its whole life thinking that it's stupid.